Northern Ireland's past and present is desecrated by its political crisis. A dark and violent period of time that many simply refer to as the Troubles has seen Union loyalists clash with Irish patriots looking to unite the country as one. Although the war formally ended almost 19 years ago, tensions between the two parties still simmer. Such traumatisation of the small nation that currently stands under the rule of the United Kingdom has completely torn Northern Ireland's economy apart and given very little opportunity for a film and television industry to establish and evolve. Until quite recently, the Northern Ireland's governing body, Northern Ireland Screen, had very little funding from both the Republic of Ireland and England, and images like these litter films produced in Northern Ireland, reminding the world of its bleak past. However, the introduction of the hit HBO television series Game of Thrones has given birth to a new boom in the industry that has put Northern Ireland on the map as a small mecca for film and television projects. In 2014, the industry has been estimated by the BBC as being worth £329 million, a staggering value all factors considered. It is fair to say that this has not been achieved without strong and keen effort of ambitious filmmakers and producers that have dared to venture on what Peter Crutchley once considered as an industry dead zone. However, the question of its future looms, whether or not Northern Ireland can sustain its current success, or indeed grow from this. Commonly referred to as Northern Ireland's Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones set up production in Belfast in 2009. Many compare the impact that Game of Thrones has had on the country to Peter Jackson's success in New Zealand. Many would argue that it has surpassed what Peter Jackson has achieved, as the show in its first season made a return of £41 million after spending £22 million, almost double the profit. In 2014, Northern Ireland invested £10 million to expand its studio space in the Titanic Quarter to an additional 100,000 square feet on top of its already existing 110 square foot parameter. This will make the Titanic Quarter one of the largest studio spaces in Europe. However, Leo Barrowclough, in an article about the UK's film tax credits, he suggests that due to its enhanced tax credits that are attracting producers worldwide to the country, Northern Ireland is perhaps too successful to the point that they will cause a severe shortage of studio space despite its recent investment to expand. It's perhaps ironic to think that HBO's first choice of location was Scotland. However, this never took off as Creative Scotland and Scottish Enterprise expressed very little interest and deemed the series too big of a risk. After Scotland's rejection, Northern Ireland Screen responded to HBO, tempting them with low-cost rates for setting up studio space in the Hollywood district of Belfast, as well as combined tax incentive of £3.2 million for the first season. Not only has Northern Ireland Screen been given huge international recognition off the back of Game of Thrones, but has also provided new infrastructures to smaller local production companies, providing with the expertise and the understanding that an international market would demand. Local game show presenter Phil Morrow mentions that the arrival of the Game of Thrones has had a huge impact on society and will help the Northern Irish community move on from the Troubles and rediscover its self-belief, stating it's the largest thing to have happened to the country since the construction and voyage of the Titanic ship in 1912.
The detective superintendent gets you.
Yes, ma'am.
And that would be me.
Welcome to Belfast.
Following Game of Thrones, we are seeing more investment funded across the Irish Sea, evidently seen in the BBC's multi-award-winning crime drama, The Fall. Television series produced by BBC Northern Ireland and Endemol Productions produced a whopping 3.3 million domestic viewers from its second season and has announced its continuation for a third season. The Fall tells the story of an English detective who arrives in modern-day Belfast, still in the midst of political tensions, to help bring justice to a serial killer on the loose. The crime series brings to light the ever-present political tensions within Belfast, but it is also a reflection upon the duty of the United Kingdom to help lift Northern Ireland out of its dark past, portrayed within Detective Superintendent Stella Gibson.
Sweet love that you bring me, cut through my darkness like a knife. Sweet love that you bring.
Cherry Bomb introduces us to two very different characters unified within a recovering Belfast. Luke and Malachi's friendship shows the unity of the young generation of Belfast, and between them they are able to find pleasure within the simple life, and they both show strong resilience to everything their environment has to throw at them. Despite their downfall at the end of the film, their unity as two characters coming together from two different backgrounds portrays an image of promise for the Northern Irish society to evolve.
Chris can go fuck himself, he's not the boss of me. Well, okay, he is, but fuck him anyway.
In an almost David versus Goliath story, James Erskine Shooting for Socrates retells Northern Ireland's 1986 World Cup miracle. The film tells a true charming story of when the smallest footballing nation comes up against the South American giants Brazil and dared to dream. The story is interweaved with young Tommy's coming of age as he is pictured standing at the top of a crane at Belfast Dock celebrating his 10th birthday. It is a story of two nations, two teams, a father and a son, the things that divide them and the things that unite them. The philosophy of football in the film promises to be a philosophy that can inspire the next generation to right the wrongs of the past.
You've always got some money, but you never buy the drinks. You always dress so slick and neat. Everybody thinks big time, you ain't no friend of mine.
Big Time, You Ain't No Friend of Mine, an anthem truly ingrained into Belfast punk rock history that encapsulates a young generation that are fed up of constant politics, cruelty and violence. Good Vibrations pays homage to Terry Hooley's following and is a fitting reflection to the way the Northern Irish are standing up to the dark past and uniting together to create something special for the world to see. Glenn Leyburn and Lisa Barros Idsa aren't just standing up showing national pride through the promise of film and music, but instead representing the people of Northern Ireland to tell the world, despite the troubles, we stand tall and we're here to stay.
Just